Here, you can see the seminal vesicles. When the vas deferens comes in, it expands into what's called the ampulla of the ductus deferens. Then it joins the seminal vesicle. So you have a seminal vesicle on each side. Both the ampulla and the seminal vesicle hold semen. Okay? And then they join the urethra, and the urethra exits. In the testes itself, okay, you have several different types of cells in the testes. Okay? The sustentacular cells sustain the sperm production. Sperm is produced and then stored in the epididymis where it's matured. Okay? Just like the Cheez-It commercials, okay, where you have the cheese that's immature, so it marks it off. Same thing. Epididymis, they don't let them out until they're fully mature. And then the rest of this is just different views. Here you see the urethras open up a little bit further, surrounded by, on this beat, look at this picture, because the big parts right here is corpus cavernosum. The corpus spongiosum is just this little tiny part right here because it's been cut open and folded flat. Okay, so make sure you look at it that way. The biggest thing you can see here, though, is the bulbourethral glands right here. These are also called Cooper's glands. And here's the prostate. Here's the trigone of the bladder. Remember the trigone? Okay, don't forget that. And then we'll get to the pregnant lady here in a minute. All right, let's do the ladies now. Okay, starting again on the outside. What you can see from the outside here, these are Bartholin's glands. Okay, they're they create mucus, okay, or basically lubrication. You can see a little bit of the labia minora. Okay, mainly what you see is the uterus. This is the vagina right here from the outside, and here's the uterus. So the fundus of the uterus is right here. Okay, here the yellow part is the ovary. The fimbriae are the brush-like extensions that hang down, so they sweep the egg into the fallopian tube. They are not attached. Okay, they're close to each other, but they're not attached. They had to kind of attach them on the model, and then you have the fallopian tube or the oviduct coming into the uterus. I shall take this out. Okay, right here, this little guy right here is called the ovarian ligament. It is attaching the ovary to the uterus. Okay, there's two other ligaments that you need to know. So you have the ovarian ligament. Actually, there's three other ligaments. There's 4 ligaments in total that you'll need to know. All this white stuff back here, and it would actually be coming all the way around and enveloping the uterus and the vagina and everything. That's called the broad ligament. The best named ligament in the female body, the broad ligament. Okay? It just basically holds everything in place. Right? Coming forward from the uterus and attaching the uterus to the anterior abdominal wall is the round ligament. Okay, and then 2 ligaments that are not shown, but they come down from the posterior abdominal wall and attach to the fallopian tube right here. That's the suspensory ligament, and they do exactly what it sounds like. They help suspend the ovarian tubes that they're upright. Okay? Not on this model, but they are on the chart. Okay? So, ovarian ligament, round ligament, and then the big one in the back is the broad ligament. Okay, so let's open this lady up. Oh, I don't know if I said it or not, but pubic symphysis. Okay, same thing. Pubic, it's even labeled here. Pubic symphysis. Okay, again we have the uterus. Okay, in the uterus there's 2 different layers that you can see here. The big one right here is the muscle. Okay, this is the myometrium. Myo means muscle, so the myometrium is the layer of the uterus that's the muscle. It's what squeezes, it's what contracts. Okay, the inner really red lining right here is the endometrium. This is where the egg is deposited and where it nests. If it's fertilized, if it's not fertilized, this is what you lose every month during menstruation. I'll put that back, but.
Real quick question: when that prolapses, does it go inside out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, when it prolapse, the inside gets pushed to the outside. That's what a prolapse is. So the endometrium comes through the cervix and extends down into the vaginal tract. All right, the cervix cervix means neck. Okay, so this whole part right here is the cervix. The cervical os, or the cervical opening, is what most people consider the cervix. That's the opening right there. But technically, the whole constriction part right here, that is the whole thing is the cervix. Okay? The cervical os or cervical opening. And then you have the vaginal tract or vaginal canal. And here you can see the lips a little bit. The minora here, majora here, or labium minus, labium majus. Okay, as long as you have one big, one little, and it's kind of close to Greek or Latin, I'm happy.
So we can literally write a big lip, little lip. Is that what you're saying?
No, it has to be kind of close to Greek or Latin.
Oh.
Big ol' lippa.
Not pigeon. Okay. Let's see. Here you see the clitoris. It is bigger than just the little dot right here. Okay, it's this whole thing that comes back. All right. It's the same thing as the glans, penis, and the guy. This is the female urethra. So here is her bladder. And yes, life's not fair because the male bladder is much bigger than the female bladder.
I know. Why?
Not
Why, Lord? Why?
For sure.
I guess we need room for the uterus.
Yeah. Gotta have room. Gotta have room for expansion. Okay. Other things to be aware of. So here's the rectum. Okay, the anus, and this is the sigmoid colon right here. And I think that's about it on the model. Let's see, I did Bartholin's gland. So